What's up, people? How y'all doing? I'm talking to Mr. Todd Anthony today. Let's see if he's around. I hope everybody's okay. Everybody's blessed. Everyone's good. Happy Friday. Hey y'all. What's going on? Just waiting for Mr. Todd Anthony to join. Hope everybody's doing all right. Hey Miss Jacqueline, how you doing? It's one of the nicest ladies. I appreciate you, Miss Jacqueline. In case y'all didn't know, that's Mr. Todd Anthony's mama. Sweet lady. I'm just waiting for him to join. I'm well, Miss Jacqueline. There he is.
What's up, brother?
How are you, brother?
I'm great, man. How you doing?
I'm blessed and highly favored, and I'm not really being corny when I say that. I really mean it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yes, yes, yes. How are you?
Hey, man, I'm blessed and highly favored.
Amen.
No, I'm
How's
well,
the
man.
family?
I'm actually doing really well. Can't complain.
How's the family?
They are great.
Okay. Okay. And I was going to ask how's your mama, but she jumped in here, so I know how she's doing. She told me she's good.
Yeah, man. Mom is well. Mom is blessed as well, and still creating her masterpieces of clothing. So yeah, man.
Hey, once an artist, always an artist. That's how it goes.
Right.
So I actually went back and looked at an old interview of ours
hmm
back in 2012,
hmm
and just to do a little homework. Not that I have to do much homework on you because I kind of keep up with you,
hmm
uh, but just looking at the trajectory from then to now and all the things that you accomplished in between.
hmm
Uh, you've had a nice run, brother. You're doing some amazing things.
Thank you,
But
man.
before we get into this, I want to give you your flowers.
Mm.
Um, so you were one of the first people to allow me to come be on a red carpet situation, and I did mention that in a previous interview.
Mm.
But what I don't think you know is that you allowing me to come in your space to bring my platform to your space
hmm
pretty much opened up a world for me.
Mm.
Since then, I've been able to act in my own movies. I've been able to produce,
Oh
and
wow.
I've been able to write some things. So because of you, you gave me that threshold, that portal to walk through and be a better me. So I appreciate you and thank you.
That's dope, man. I'm happy to hear that. I'm
Yeah,
glad you stepped in fully to everything that God has placed in you.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it's also a blessing to be able to connect with like-minded people and people that are also in my sphere of creativeness. So I
hmm
appreciate it.
No, no problem.
So tell me what's going on with you? What you got going on?
Well, outside of these Gummy bears, which I love. I'm sorry. Um, you know what, man? I've really been in a creative space. I've been writing, have a couple films under my belt, have a couple pilots,
Mhm.
and we've just in the process of trying to sell those, to a couple of networks and a couple of production companies that we can partner with. Um, Aside from that, my wife and I have really gone full speed ahead with like the things that we have had in store for a long time with our podcast. With we do panels throughout the year, marriage panels. Not all marriage panels, women panels, men panels that are strictly for empowering and strictly for helping you discover what your purpose is.
Mhm.
Are also to reinforce, um, things that sometimes we forget when we're just going through life.
Right.
Um, so that's under our organization called Platform for Purpose, and we just launched our purpose website, but not website. I'm sorry, our school. That's the little baby. See, I'm
I love it. Daddy duty.
I'm on daddy duty, man. My wife is out of town. My wife is out of town doing her thing. So
Hmm.
we have that, man. We have, like I said, our news. It's pretty much a school, in
Hmm.
which you can sign up for. It's called the platform, and it's under platformforpurpose.co, and it's interesting, man. It's interesting how life takes you. Like we have all these things that are strictly just to help build people, and and I never thought I would be here. Like I knew I would be here because that's always kind of been me. But
Hmm.
for it to be like all like it's becoming number one. I think as artists, when you first start out, your goal is to like you want to be working. You want to really do dope projects and meaningful projects, and you obviously want to make a living from it, and that's all your focus becomes. But when you start to grow and you understand, like, it's not necessarily about the projects you're working on, it's about the thing that you carry that transcends through the art that you do.
Mm.
So that has become number one for me as far as just making sure I'm always changing somebody's life.
Mm.
And I've come to realize that everything's an exchange when it comes to life. No matter what you want to be, there's always an exchange, there's always a give and take.
Hmm.
And for me, obviously, I want to give as much as possible, but I realize people that really want to change their lives are willing to sacrifice to become the greater part of themselves. And so I know I kind of deviated, but that's kind of what I've really been on. Like outside of creating, I'm always going to be that. I'm always going to, write and act, and I got some projects coming up there. But my main focus is to make sure that I'm operating in everything that God has placed in me to give to people, because I think that's what, outside of the legacy I want to leave for my family.
Hmm.
That's what people are going to remember you by. How
Yes.
you how you impacted them, what you left them with, how you helped. Like you said, man, you gave me my first da 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 on the red carpet. Then I started doing this and that, and it wasn't like I didn't have that in mind. It was just,
Right.
yep, brother is, he's just getting his thing started. Like, I want to come on the red carpet. I'm like, what's it gonna hurt me? You know?
And what's so funny is the same thing that you just said is
Mhm.
what you said.
Wow.
That thing.
Well, see, there you go. So,
Uh,
I haven't
Point of
changed.
reference, wait, for the people. Point of reference. if you want to check it out, please Google my first interview with Mr. Ty Anthony. It was done in 2012. You can find it on.
So,
Yeah.
that lets me know I've been doing this for 12 years. Jeez.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that's,
You're so good at
yeah,
it.
yeah, hey, well, hey, God has given me a great gift, um, and a great talent, and so I've just been honing in on it amongst other talents. But yeah, man, that's what we have going on, man. So, um, I would strongly encourage people to do that first. If people want to know really what I have going on, go to platformforpurpose.co, and you can see all of the things we're doing. I'm teaching an acting course on there. My wife has her Women Walking in Purpose class. We have a strictly purpose class to help you discover your purpose. We have our podcast on there, which is called Did It on Purpose, and that's on all platforms. I mean, it's on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and YouTube. Um, we have a daily devotional that we're doing with people just to kind of keep people always just keep their minds right, keep you sharp. um, yeah, and then outside of that, man, like I said, it's just, my artistry. I'm writing, I'm pitching shows. I have a
Mhm.
movie that's that's out right now. Well, it's not out. Sorry, it's screened at the Pan African Film Festival called First. And My other film, Fells High, will be out at the latter point of this year, which is
Okay.
which we shot in Philly, based
Okay.
off Fells High. A friend of mine, who's the writer, director, and one of the producers. It's loosely based off of his life. It stars myself, Omari Hardwick, um, Michael Hyatt. If you're not familiar with the name, she's the mother off of Snowfall, the show Snowfall. If you watch that, Elise Neal, Mark John Jeffries, T.J. Adams from the Wu Tang series.
Hmm.
Nice cast. And uh, and then, well, I guess you'd be the first to know. um, uh, the Christmas movie that we just did, the first Noel.
Hmm.
We're coming back for a part two.
Nice. Very
Yeah,
nice.
so that rarely happens when it comes to Christmas films, especially over at BET. So it got a really great response. So yeah, man. So that's me. And other than that, I'm father, daddy duty all day, and husband and all that other stuff.
So, I mean, when we talked before, of course, you weren't a father then. So, how has fatherhood been for you?
Fatherhood is actually it's a job, but
Hmm.
it's unexplainable. It's it's the first peek into how God operates.
Hmm.
Meaning he's unconditional towards us, right?
Hmm.
He's always there, even when we don't think he's there. He always has our best interest in mind, um, and he literally laid down his life for us. And you immediately get that when you become a parent. At least I
Hmm.
did,
Hmm.
So, and then having two, well, having three, I'm three. Yeah, man, it's different. It's like they remind you of who you were at one point, and then they do things that you see yourself, and then they look like you, and that's the part I think I had to get used to. It was like it's just weird, but it's beautiful, man. Like if anybody can become a father or a mother, I encourage them to do it because there's nothing like it. And then you get a whole new sense of purpose in life
Yeah.
outside of yourself. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, man, I enjoy it. I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's the biggest lesson that you have learned out of your fatherhood journey thus far?
The biggest lesson, that I would probably say for myself to take it easy on myself.
Hmm.
Um, Because when you watch kids, right, they have no care in the world. Like
True.
they know you're gonna feed them. Actually, not even that they even know it. They don't even think about it. It's like all they know is, hey, he's the one who feeds me, who clothes me, who loves me, who takes me out and have fun, who does all these things, and I don't have to work for it. And so for me again, it reminded me, why do we as people trip about life when God has the same stance?
Mm.
He's like, you're my child. I'm going to feed you. I'm going to clothe you. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to make sure you have a good time. I'm going to pour everything into you that's within me that can make you be everything you want to be. And you don't even really have to work for it, because once you decided you were my child, it was already a wrap.
How about that?
So for me, I had to see, I was like, wow. So I really need to just relax. Not saying don't work, not saying don't put the work in, because obviously faith without works is dead when it comes to things that you want to accomplish. And um, you know uh, the things that he's placed inside of you are a benefit for everybody else, so you do have to work those things, but not to the point of stress, anxiety, worry.
Right.
So because he's already taken care of it before before we even came to this place physically.
Hmm.
So when you can tap into that, then you kind of go through life knowing everything. When that word says everything works out for your good, everything works out for your good. There's no negative situation, truly, because every negative we think is a learned lesson to help you
Amen.
be better. So it technically works out for your good.
That's
So
so true.
that's what I've learned the most from fatherhood.
So I'm gonna segue into, I'm gonna take what you just said and I'm gonna go into your artistry
Mm,
with this fatherhood journey, right?
mm,
You have to have a new well of emotions. You have to have a new well of everything, basically.
yeah.
How has that augmented your artistry?
Oh, it's opened me up in many different ways. Emotionally, for sure, especially since having a daughter. Um,
Mm.
you know, you the 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 female aspect, man. You come to learn a lot about yourselves, and you come to learn a lot about the misconceptions that men to how to be a man.
Hmm.
Being a man actually requires you to be able to be tapped in emotionally as well. And my daughter taught me that, because it's like they're going through these emotions, and you have to be able to not only adapt, but you have to be able to empathize.
True.
Baby, it's gonna be okay. Daddy's here. Da, 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 all of those things. But if you're cold and you're shut off to that, you'll never understand her.
Hmm.
And so for me as an artist, it's opened me up to the point where, things that were once, maybe like just kind of took me harder to get to, or emotions that took me harder to get to. It's like it's easy. It's like that. Um, because they teach you so much. And again, like your kids, you immediately look at them and think like, I'll do anything for y'all. And so as an artist, when you get roles, um, especially the roles I get now, like I get fatherhood roles, and I get husband roles, where before I didn't always, or I get a relationship role. Um, and you have to be able to tap into them things when it comes to dealing with even your partner.
Yeah.
Right? Like even my daughter taught me a lot about my wife. It's like you look at your wife and say, man, you're nothing. You are literally this little girl that's in a big girl's body,
Hmm.
you know, a little bit more mature, right? But you still have all of these things that you go through. And me as a husband, I have to just be able to sympathize, empathize, help you, but at the same time, realize like, man, this you got to be able to tap into emotions when it comes to the ladies in your life. And they have taught me as an artist, you have to just be available.
Mm,
You have to be present, right?
right.
Doing a film or you're in a scene, be present, really, in that through that character, and that's how people look at your work and say, "Phew, that boy cold," or he's a great artist, or he's a great actor, because they can literally feel it. Because if you're tapped in and they're tapped in, then they're like, "Woof!" Like he's somewhere else. But it's just because you've made yourself available. You've made yourself available. Even spiritually, you got to make yourself available, right? Because that's what we all are before we're humans.
How
And
about that?
so when you can tap into that and tap into your emotions and be physically present, now you becoming the Denzels and the Sidney Poitiers of the world, and you know, one of my brothers who I think is a great actor who's people are just starting to take notice. My brother Will Catlett. You know, you're becoming these guys. You know, you see the Jonathan Majors, like these guys that we're looking at now, like, yo, this guy's a great actor. You can tell that they're available.
Yeah.
You can tell the difference in actors too.
To this date, what was your most difficult role that you had to like really pull from resources to play?
That's interesting.
And why?
You know what's
Why?
crazy? You know what's crazy? The most difficult role for me to play was actually early on in my early start, and it was two because I haven't had the opportunity just yet to really play something really deep outside of creating it myself. Like Malcolm X was probably the best character that I've played, in my opinion. But
Mm,
I created that as far
right.
as the project. And then you had to, and for that, I had to become available for the spirit of Malcolm X to fall on me for you to believe it. Because you could tell somebody you acting like Malcolm X, and like, yo, I feel like I'm watching Malcolm X. That's a difference.
Right.
Um, but I would say honestly, the play that I did, 6 Degrees, when I had to play the character who was struggling with his sexuality,
Hmm.
um, and and Split Second, the one you did the red carpet for, and the reason why was because I had an uncle early on in my childhood who was gay male, and this was at a time where that was like truly frowned upon,
Hmm.
because you know he wound up contracting the AIDS virus. But back then, which I really didn't know at the time because I was a kid, it was
Hmm.
like that was only when if you caught that virus, it was only through gay males. That's what
Right.
the stigma was back then.
Hmm.
So, um, and so doing that role and us having to, one, me having to be a character in which I had a girlfriend, but I'm also got a guy that I'm dealing with on the side that I don't want to let nobody know, and then I find out that I contract HIV, and then my girlfriend finds out she's pregnant, and then all of these things emotionally, it was a lot. I remember a certain rehearsal, I couldn't shake it, and I remember driving home from that rehearsal, and I couldn't stop crying.
Mm.
It took me a few hours after rehearsal to just like, yo, let it go.
Was
Uh,
that the first that happened to you that you carried that role with
yeah,
you?
yep,
Yeah.
yeah. That was the first time that happened where my emotions, I couldn't. I was like, what is happening?
Hmm.
Like, that was yeah. It was because I made myself available without realizing it. You know,
Mm.
like I was just like, yo, I'm just going all in.
Right.
And that's I think that, that's good as an artist. Just you have to be able to control it because you don't want to go too far in and you lose yourself.
Right.
Um, and then the other role was Split Second. Same situation where, I had several members, and one of my closest aunt, who passed, and my shout out to my cousin who's online. Her mother, Lauren, Lauren Shay's, my aunt Marianne passed away.
Hey, Lauren Shay. I know
Yeah,
Lauren
you know
Shay.
Lauren. Yep, you know Lauren. Yeah. That's my first cousin, right?
I didn't know that. I know it now.
Oh yeah, yep, yeah, yeah. Um, so my aunt passed away early when I was in high school. Well, we were in high school, and she was like another mother. Um,
Hmm.
and she passed away from breast cancer. And so that character, in Split Second, obviously went through cancer, all those things. And so that was probably, but the only thing not I regret about Split Second, but that I look back on now is because it was early on in my career,
Hmm.
I wasn't ready for that role yet.
Mm.
Meaning, if I knew what I knew now as an artist, that would have been a whole different movie.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because at that point, I was acting like someone who had cancer, as opposed to you feeling like this person really does he really have because obviously I've grown as an artist, but these are things you just you go through and you grow through, as an early artist becoming seasoned now. And so yeah, those would be the two roles that I would say.
Okay. Yeah. If anybody has an opportunity to go check out Split Second, that was a pretty deep movie.
It's on Tubi.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Tubi now. I said, wow, at 12 years later.
Yeah. Shout out to Neil Carr.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah, boy Neil and Tim
Oh, wow.
Fontaine.
Yes, Tim Fontaine, absolutely. Who put me in my first movie? Shout out to Tim.
Right.
So, how's Cali?
Cali Cali has treated me well. Cali has It's beautiful, man. It's a beautiful state. I mean, I met my wife here. Uh, obviously she's from Philly, which is crazy, but we met here, and I started my family here, and my career has grown here. And so Cali is beautiful, man. Come here, buddy. Come on, come here. You want to talk?
Hey,
Say hey.
hey,
Oh man, he
you
like
look like Mama.
yeah, yeah. He looked like mom's.
Yeah.
Say I know. Yeah, but Cali, man, Cali is it's what you make it. It's like any city. It's what you
Yeah.
make it. Like when I first moved here, man, I had my struggles, boy. Like it was tough. Just kind of getting
Well,
used
let's
to it.
talk about that a little bit because you have a lot of people who have Hollywood dreams and they want to move out and think they're going to become a star. Talk
Mhm.
about that.
I mean, listen, you have some people that come out and some people get it right away. Um,
Hmm.
Most of the time, those people don't last too long because they did get it right away. And other times, like my situation, and a lot of actors where they oh, go ahead. They you have to go through it. You know what I mean? Like you have to experience a bunch of no's. You lay down, mama. Are you up? You up? You have to I experienced a lot of no's. I experienced my bank account like being completely dry, empty. Um, trying to just, working out here at the same time while trying to get the acting. It was like starting all over, like in Philly, obviously it's smaller. We meet each other very often. We see each other often when it comes to that circle. And so
Hmm.
it's like you're going from doing this in Philly to in LA, you like, and then you start to do this again.
Yeah.
So it was a roller coaster early on, and sometimes look, as we're artists, right? At the end of the day, like until I get to the 20 million of film and all of that, which is coming soon. You're always experiencing those ebbs and flows and those highs and lows, and so sometimes even now I still go through them. It may not hurt as bad as it used to
Yeah.
because you're in a better position now, but early on it's tough. You have to truly want this and truly be consistent at your dream and your goals in order to see them through because you'll appreciate them more. It goes back to that give and take thing,
Yes.
right? Like when you sacrifice your time, your body, your sleep, sometimes your relationships.
Mm.
Um, it's a price to pay when you depending on how bad or how high you want to go in life. Right?
Yeah.
Like it's interesting. I was talking to a friend of mine who's he's a millionaire, right? And it's like we talk about family and all that stuff a lot, but what people don't see is when you start to get to that level of millions, you aren't as present as your wife would like to be or your kids would like to be because you have a goal in mind. Now, it may only be for a short time, but it's a sacrifice that you make. And it was the same out here. It was like I understood, okay, this was a sacrifice. I moved here, I moved away from my family. Thank God I have my family out here now. My
Mhm.
cousins out here, my mom, one of my best friends. So it's like, but before that, I had to make a family out here. I had to make family and friends. And so you deal with all those things. You deal with bouts of loneliness. You deal with, man, should I have moved here? Or, when you're getting told no
Mhm.
time after time after time after time, you're like, well, am I a good actor? Like you're going through all these things. And if you're not rooted in many ways, but first, if you're not rooted in your faith first and what God told you and gave you and hold on to that, you'll
Mhm.
easily fold or you'll easily move back to your hometown and say, well, what God has for me is for me.
Yeah.
That's the cop out a lot of times. And he's like, I had it. You just didn't stick with it.
Right.
So now you get in the fallback. Not that you still won't be blessed, but what I really had for you was ridiculous.
So it's kind of like that meme, that the meme with the miners digging, and then
Yeah.
the one caption turns around, and the other caption,
Yep.
the diamonds are right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that thing is real, man. That's why you see it. The most of the successful people, and they have all of these crazy things. Um, they dream big. That's
Mhm.
a real thing. Like I will literally give you above and abundantly above what you can ask or think or imagine. So if
Mhm.
your imagination is big, then he has to go bigger than that.
Yeah.
But if your imagination or your expectations is just a little big, then you can't be mad at what you get after that because you didn't dream big enough.
Yeah.
So,
So,
um, but yeah, so that's LA is as an artist, it can be hard for a lot of people. That's why a lot of times you find guys and ladies, some people they commit suicide or they get depressed or they end up homeless because it's not an easy city to live in. It's expensive as I don't know what.
mhm.
To make it as an artist, you have to truly know, like, hey, this is what I was called to do. This is what I was. This is what I was born to do. And so, but I encourage artists that not only in LA, but anywhere, but especially in LA. If you stick with it long enough, your opportunity comes.
Yeah.
You just gotta be ready for it.
Yeah.
I'm.
I remember when you left,
Mhm,
and it was after Split Second, and when you
mhm.
decided to go, and you had eyes on you, and the next thing I know, You know, I'm watching the TV, I see a commercial, and I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
there's, and then
Right.
there's another one, and then another one. I was like, oh, he's good. He's gonna be all right.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, and, but you know, it took some pain. You know,
Yeah.
like I said, I knew I was supposed to be here, and that's why I stuck it out. But like early, man, I trust me. I was times I had to call back home, like, hey, I need a little somebody lend me something real quick, hold me over.
Mhm.
But I tell you what, it truly wasn't until I was working a job, and you know, you're just trying to make it work. You're trying to support yourself while supporting your dreams.
Right.
And I just remember the same feeling I had when I was working in Jersey, and still pursuing acting. Like, I got to get out this job. Like, I can't do what I want to do if I'm working this job and trying to, right. Sometimes it's a season for that, but you got to figure out or know when God is like, all right, it's time to move. It's time to really step out. And so that's what had started to happen. The moment I made the decision, all right, I'm done with this job. I'm not going back. I'm doing this full time. I'm making myself available for what it is that I want.
Yeah.
I was getting more auditions, more opportunities to audition, and that's when I started really booking. That's when commercials was just like that one year. I think I may have booked maybe 5 commercials,
Wow. Yeah.
and that once that happened, I haven't been back to I hadn't been back to a job
Right.
since then. So, um, well, up until now, like I wouldn't even call this a job though, but that's like I work at my church out here.
Yeah.
But I'm a youth pastor. I'm a
Yeah.
youth pastor out here. I don't, you know, if you know that, but like that's what I enjoy doing. You know what I mean? Like it's one of them things where if I'm not on set, um, you know, I'm there. I'm there figuring out, well, how can I serve not only my youth department, but how can I be here and help the ministry grow? And that's not like your typical, you know what I mean? Like you clocking into a job every day. It's like, yo, I get to serve my ministry. Like, why not?
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, man. So, but LA, man, you know, it's what you make it. It's what you put into it. It's what you give to it. And it can be successful. You just have to, like I said, be consistent and just know, like, my opportunity coming. It can't help. God just doesn't do that. Like, if He did, it's like, man, who are you? It's like if He sees that you putting it all into this, it's gonna come.
Mm-hmm.
But depending on how
But
great that thing is, you
the
might have
thing
to wait a
about
little.
that, the thing about that though, a lot of people think that it's supposed to come the way that they envision it. It
Right?
doesn't always come the way that you envision it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It you know, it rarely comes that way. I know guys out here that, you know, right now they're just like hitting their stride, but they might have been out here for 12 years,
Yeah.
longer than me, you know. So like I'm just hitting 10 this April.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, from the outside looking in, and I'm still not, if you ask me, I would say I'm still not, you know, where I'm definitely not where I want to be. But even at this point in my career, I'm still like, yo, I should be done. I can have more. I've been
Yeah.
through a lot of great things, which lets me know again that, oh, I'm close.
Yeah.
Like sometimes God shows you the vision before He gives it to you, right?
Right.
So you may say, all right, buddy. You may say, man, I want to work with Will Smith, or I want to work with Denzel. I want to be a series regular on this show, right? And then you get that close to it and you don't get it. So most people would be like, you know, you get depressed and you get down and if only I had that job. No, He's just showing you going better. I just had to give you a preview of what it was going to be like, but it's going to be that much greater. It's going to be that much greater. So,
That's true.
all right, buddy. Yeah, all right. Come away from here. So, um, yeah, you can't have your mind wrapped around, especially not out here. You can't have your mind wrapped around what you think it's going to be like. If you do, you are you're closing yourself off to the greater possibility. You're closing yourself off. It's like, I'm telling you, like, I didn't even think the furthest thing from my mind moving out here to be an actor was to get married, to start a family, to find myself in ministry, to uh to sell a film. Like, none of that stuff was in my mind at that time. It was just, I know I want to be an actor. I want to be working. I want to be on TV. I want to make some money. But God has done even greater. Shoot, buying a house in Los Angeles is like, what? So that alone was like, all right, let me let you do what you do. And I got to flow with you. That's all. Let him have it.
Right.
That's it, man. So let him hold it. Let him hold it. Okay. So yeah, man. So yeah, man. It's interesting. It's interesting, but but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't trade it for the world. So every artist, especially in LA, just stay consistent. Stay
Yeah.
consistent. That's your best bet. Stay consistent. Obviously, keep yourself sharp as much as you can, but stay consistent. Your opportunity will come. It will never not come. It's just be ready when it comes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and I got to tell
be open
myself
to,
that even now. Like, this is
yeah.
somebody that's been going on 10 years in LA, that has worked on some great things, and the real opportunity I know I really want. I still got to tell myself to this day to stay consistent, keep showing up, because I got my days where I'm like, man, I don't know, man, I may need to just do something else, And somebody from the outside looking in would be like, what? Nah, man, I see you doing this and this and this and that. But when you know you're greater, and you know that, you know, your potential is sky high, you're
Mm-hmm.
just like, man, but I could be doing this, and this. Sorry, man, my son is like Bam Bam. He does all the things to hurt himself, and then will cry. But yeah, so that's all, man. It's like, just stay consistent, stay encouraged. You messing up my live, man. You messing up my live, buddy. True, you want to say hi? This is my daughter.
Hi. Oh, she's gorgeous, Todd.
Thank you. Say hi.
And she looks like your mom.
Oh, what? Yeah. Well, that's true. That's definitely true. It's weird. My son, he actually looks like, he does look like my wife. Um, but especially because he has her shaped face and everything, like her lips. But he actually looks like my uncle, my late uncle, who passed a little while ago. If you see him,
Okay.
it's like, it's
Wow.
weird. Yeah. So,
That's the thing.
but yeah. Did I answer the
So,
question? I think I answered the question.
no, you did. You did.
Okay.
And while I have you on the live, I'm starting a new series where I'm going to be talking to couples
Mm,
um, with melanin about Black love, and I
okay.
would like to have you and your wife on when I actually start it.
Oh yeah. Hey, let me know. Let us know. That's our lane, man. We just learn, again. You learn so much with relationships, and when you marry, you learn so much about yourself, and about, just how you can make that relationship or marriage successful. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so that's all we want to do. As much as we learn, we like to give out as we learn it, and hopefully we're helping, other couples and other married couples that are just trying to make it work.
Right, right.
Yeah. So yeah, just let me know.
I definitely will.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take too much more of your time, brother. Tell the people where they can follow you and keep up with you.
You can follow me at underscore Todd Anthony, or if you even just type in at Todd Anthony, it'll pop up. I'm on all social media platforms there. My website is toddaanthony.com. Again, you can go to platformforpurpose.co, which is my wife and I's organization, and a lot of our events that we put on throughout the year are there. Our school now is there. So if people are interested in taking the classes, whether it's my ACTS class, whether it's a women in purpose class, the purpose master class, or you just want to check out our podcast, which deals with what you're saying that you're going to start.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, you can follow Platform for Purpose on Instagram, or like I said, follow me, Todd Anthony, all social media platforms.
Absolutely. I find it a privilege to be able to witness your life and see you grow, brother. It's been amazing watching you. And I'm going to give you some homework. I want you to go find our old interview and look at it, because a lot of times you were hitting on some key points that you touched on back then. And I want you to look at it to see your own growth and where you were and what you said to me then and where you are now and what you said to me today.
That's interesting. I never thought about doing that, but that's actually interesting. Because I normally don't watch. I don't watch anything I've done. I don't rewatch it. I don't go
Yeah.
back and like, man, I'm curious to see how far like. I know I've come a long way, but I never do that. Not even with projects.
But
It's a
it's
great
that
thing.
way that you've grown, but it's also too the level of consistency within your spirit is there,
Yeah,
and it just hits different. So I urge you to check it out.
that's good. That's good. That's actually really good.
Yeah.
That's actually dope. You need to make all artists do that.
Well, I mean, if I can be on that journey, that's why I'm here.
Yeah. No, that's good because like you're either as an artist, you're gonna either get an eye opener or you're gonna be like, man, okay, I'm actually pretty consistent with who I am, or you're gonna be like, hey, I've changed in a good way or a bad way. So
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
that's good. But listen, man, I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate you sticking to even what you said you wanted to do, right? And to
Hmm.
have your own show. Um, it's just always amazing to watch somebody say not only they want to do something, but they actually do it.
Yeah.
And I just encourage you keep dream bigger for conversations with Chike.
Absolutely.
You know, shoot, whatever, when any way I can help, let me know. But yeah, you can always go bigger and greater, and it's just so much you can do with this. You know what I mean? You have all the right tools, the connections, and you got the right personality, and so just keep doing what you're doing, man.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Brother Todd, and blessings to you and your family.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You want to say
And
something?
Miss Miles, if you're still in here, God bless you. Love you much.
Love you too, Mom. My wife just actually came in, so she missed the whole
Hey,
thing.
how you doing?
You want to say bye? You don't want to say bye? Hey,
She's
listen,
busy.
my daughter is cold. Like, my daughter will not say like if she don't want to say nothing to you, she don't say nothing to you. Say bye bye, buddy. Say bye bye.
Bye.
Are you cold today too? Oh man, snotty man. All right. Well, hey, bro, appreciate you. And
Wait, hold on. Your wifey wants to come in for a second. Hold on.
oh, okay. Let's get your nose, buddy.
Oh, I was about to say, did we hang up? I'm so sorry, guys. I was in a meeting.
It's okay. Hey, Mrs. Anthony.
Didn't know,
Hi. Look,
didn't
I'm
know
over
you
here
was
trying to
coming on.
fix myself.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Nice to cyber meet you.
Right.
I know. Nice to meet you as well. I missed the whole interview, huh?
Ugh.
It'll
Snotty.
be on replay. It'll be on replay.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna go back and watch it.
Say hi,
Well,
man.
I was telling Ty earlier, I'm starting a series on Black love, and I want to invite both of you on.
Oh, amen. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. We would love to.
absolutely. I can't wait. I
Okay.
guess he
Well,
popped out. He popped out.
okay. All right. Well, I'll go back and rewatch it.
And Lauren Shay, I'm gonna need for you to follow me. I need to catch up with you. We need to talk, Lauren Shay.
I'm gonna go back and watch it. Okay.
Okay.
All
Take
right.
care. Be
Take
blessed.
care. Bye.
All right.